Speak version equals 1.0 XMLNS equals http://www.w3.org/2001/10/synthesis. XMLNS. MSDTS equals https://www.w3.org/2001/MSDTS Lang equals NUS. Voice name equals NUS Neural. MSDTS. Express as style equals SAD. Style degree equals 1.8. Prosody rate equals -18%. Pitch equals -10%. I am 94 years old. I thought I knew what it meant to grow old. Now I know I had no idea. Growing up in Chicago in the 1940s and 50s, my family would talk about the golden years, how we'd all live long, happy lives after retirement. My grandmother would show me pictures of her friends who were 80, 90 years old, still working in their gardens. I thought that's what I'd do too. But nobody told me this. Nobody warned me about the loneliness that hits you like a ton of bricks. After my husband passed away in 62, I went from being a married woman with 2 kids to being alone in my house. I was completely wrong about the whole idea of what retirement meant. I thought I'd be free and happy, and that my kids would come visit all the time. But they grew up and got busy with their own families. Now I'm living in a nursing home. I know I'm lucky. I have some wonderful caregivers here, but it's just not the same as being home with my family. I miss my grandkids. I miss my friends from the old neighborhood. It's like I've been erased, like I'm a ghost living in the past. They lied to us, back in the day, made it sound like growing old was this golden era, this time when you were free to do whatever you wanted. But that's just not true. Old age is hard. It's lonely, it's painful, and most of all, it's frightening. My memory's not what it used to be, and sometimes I get confused about what day it is or who's visiting me. I look in the mirror, and it's like staring at a stranger. I don't recognize this old woman with the wrinkles and the gray hair. I look like a completely different person from the one I used to be. But here's the thing. Despite all the difficulties, despite all the loneliness, despite all the pain, I'm still here. I'm still talking, still thinking, still feeling. There's something to be said about being 94 years old, about having lived through so much. I've seen the world change. I've seen wars come and go. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've lived through the Great Depression, through 2 world wars, through the Civil Rights Movement. I've seen things I never thought I'd see, and I've done things I never thought I'd do. I remember the day I voted for the first time, in 1948. I remember the day I got married, and the day my first child was born. I remember the day I buried my grandmother, and the day I buried my husband. It's funny, when you're young, you think you're invincible, that nothing bad will ever happen to you. But life has a way of knocking you off your feet, of reminding you that you're not as tough as you thought you were. But that's where the wisdom comes in. That's where the hard-won knowledge comes in. I know now that old age is not about being weak. It's not about being useless. It's about being worn down, about being tired. It's about knowing that you're not as strong as you used to be, but that you're still standing. I've learned to accept the things I can't change, to make the most of the time I have left. I've learned to be kind to myself, to take things one day at a time. And you know what? Despite everything, despite all the pain and the loneliness, I'm still hopeful. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. I know there's something more after this life, something better. I know that there's a world out there that's still full of wonder, still full of magic. And I know that even though I may not be able to experience it with my body, I can still experience it with my heart. That's what I want to leave you with. That's what I want you to take away from this video. Don't believe everything they tell you about growing old. Don't believe the lies about it being some golden era. It's hard, it's painful, and it's frightening. But it's also beautiful, it's also worthy, and it's also full of wisdom. I'm 94 years old, and I'm still here, still talking, still thinking, still feeling. And I want you to know that it's never too late to start learning, to start growing, to start loving. Don't be afraid of growing old. Don't be afraid of the things you don't know. Because the truth is, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you love. If this reached your heart, please subscribe. I still have things to say, and I want to share them with you. /prosody, /msdts, express as, /voice, /speak.